Good afternoon, and what is a mild, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday the 29th of October. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and something interesting to unbox, which is this. This is Planescape and Adventures in the Multiverse, which is the very latest release for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition from Wizards of the Coast. So, gateway to the multiverse, infinite realms of immortals and imagination. The outer planes brim with celestials, fiends, gods, and the dead. And they're all just a step away. Enter a portal to the Sigil, the City of Doors, a metropolis where magical pathways connect to every corner of the multiverse. From there, venture to the Outlands, the hub of the outer planes, and discover wonders beyond belief and adventures across reality. Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse contains everything a Dungeon Master needs to run adventures set in Sigil and the Outlands, as well as new options for players who want to create characters prepared to explore the planes. Contents: Sigil and the Outlands, a 96-page hardcover book that includes playing the character options, details on the fantastic City of Doors, descriptions of the Outlands and the gate towns that lead to the Outer Planes, and more. Turn of Fortune's Wheel, a 96-page hardcover adventure set in Sigil and the Outlands, which is designed for characters of levels 3 to 10 with a jump to level 17. Mort Planar Parade, a 64-page hardcover book that presents stat blocks and descriptions for inhabitants of the Outer Planes, including planar incarnates, hierarch modrons, and time dragons. Double-sided poster map of Sigil and the Outlands, which can serve as both adventure locations and springboards to adventures across the multiverse. Sturdy 4-panel Dungeon Master's screen. So this is quite a pack for your Dungeons & Dragons games. And this really is sort of like, this is about the best treatment you're going to get at Planescape for 5th edition. Short of going back and having a look at the reprint, which I've done, I've looked at the original, done an unboxing of the original. But we want to see what this is like. So let's open up. Okay. And my first grumble is, this is always separate. This is separate and always gets kind of lost. So it doesn't feel complete. I have no problem with this being on the back of something. So you have that and that. So what we've got in here is it's 3 books. They're not actually placed in order, so you pull them out, and what you've got is the Fortune's Wheel, which is the scenario. You want the unlikely, the improbable, the impossible. I can set you a price. Changing the multiverse is as easy and convincing everyone that what you want is just the way it has always been. So slim adventure there, and you can see there's a really interesting depiction of the Modron on the front there, and some fantastic sort of character options I think they're suggesting are available, and Mistress of the Pain in the back of the Sigil and the Outlands book, and it says, everybody comes to Sigil, the good and the evil, the just and the cruel. Nobody forgets their loves or hatreds here. But they managed to set them aside. Sigil is not just a city, it's the miracle around which all the planes spin. And then we have Mort's Planar Parade, and that's going to be possibly a Githyanki there on the front. Sure, a living guy will tell you how to explore the planes and keep your head, but take it from the dead, Chief. We'll tell you all the ways there are to lose your head, and when it's absolutely worth at risk. Mort, undead planar guy. So he actually might be dead. And then we've got the screen, which shows a cross section of the areas across Sigil. So I'm just going to show you that. Mistress of Pain at the centre there, and on the other side we have got a little sort of basically a little map of Sigil and the Outlands. Okay, just That's just a bit too big to really kind of focus on with any ease. So I'm going to slip. So that's not going to sit. So that's the screen. So let's have a look at the books. So we best start with the beginning where they don't, which is sort of like yes, the 3 books are in there, but they're not in the order you necessarily think about looking at them. Because you look for, you've got like the adventure, sort of like you've got that. This comes in the middle between the other books. So that's just an odd way of packaging. And we have this classic symbol of the Mistress of Pain, actually also done as a belt buckle when it was released, we have the credits page and also the contents. And introduction. Promising infinite doors to adventure, tells you what Planescape is, how to use the book, and the 3 truths of the setting, which is the centre of the universe, unity of rings, rule of 3s. And then pretty quickly we get into character options. So we get Gate Warden there. This is sort of backgrounds, Planar Philosopher, connected to residual faction affinities. So you've got a couple of options there, and then we move on to feats, like Agent of Order, Baleful Scion, Outlands Envoy, Planar Wanderer. So you can equip your player characters with them, you can equip your NPCs with them, and so on. And then magic, we have things like new spells like Gate Seal, Warp Sense, and magic items like a Portal Compass. And then we have Mimir, basically a skull repository of knowledge. And I think actually one of the things that TSR did back in the day was they produced a CD which would play random snippets of information about the setting that you could just play. And then we get on to the description sigil of the doors itself. Looking less sort of like strangely Dickensian as it sort of like used to, or used to have that kind of feel. Then in the original box set, sort of a mixture of a Dickensian and Renaissance era Italy. Discussion of portals there, and here we've first mentioned the Lady of Pain. And the factions. And when back when I did the unboxing of the original box set, the factions all felt sort of like as if they were trying to do Vampire the Masquerade with its factions. The idea of factions was very big in the 90s. Vampire the Masquerade having set that template. And then move on to the Sigil Gazetteer. So, Clark's Ward, different areas, regions of the city. We've got floor plans or plan of the LOF Theatre, Hive Ward. In one location, for example, Fell's Tattoos, and Hall of Vigils, Ladies Ward. Like I say, that's Ladies Ward, not Lady Sword. some of the inhabitants, the soldiers you will find there. So it's a lovely looking book. Lower Ward. I'll get this great floor plans for Great Foundry. Market Ward. And again, each section is doing the sort of, you've got an overview of the ward, then you've got breakdown of you know, encounters. So encounters and then encounters and factions, and then locations, like the Great Gymnasium, and shops in the bazaar, which seems a little limited, just 8. You could have done a whole, you know, much more than that. And then we move on to under sigil. And then it starts to discuss things like discussion, starts looking at things like adventures in sigils. So we've got adventure hooks, faction missions, encounters in sigils, sigil calamities, tables for options which the dungeon master can take and develop herself. Before we move on from sigil to the outlands, and we've got life, looking at life in the outlands, and what might be encountered there, like the automata, and here we've got sort of like the first inklings that we have a degree, elements of mechanization and almost steampunk in the setting that really hadn't been explored in role-playing up until sort of like really this point, I suppose, and wouldn't really be looked at sort of like yet for a few more years on their own. So different locations across the outlands. Even a place called Ecstasy. And Excelsior. Fortitude. Plague Mort. Literally ribcage, even nicely illustrated there as well. And each one, basically you've got a gate destination. So from Ribport you go to the nine House of Bator, primary citizens, devils and humanoids, ruler Duchess Zelda's Zerkbane. The gate itself discussed, noteworthy sights, adventures in Ribcage. So you've got a good essentially introduction and overview of the location, and it does the same again and again for each of the locations, major locations in Outland. So Sylvania, and that will connect to the Olympian Glades of Arborea, primary citizens, fays and humanoids, ruler the 7 Spiritals. Torch, Trade Gate contains the twin paradises of Bitopia, primary citizens, humanoids, ruler the 5-star guild. Zeos, ever-changing Chaos and Limbo, and then primary citizens, Gith Zerai, and ruler varies. So that might be a Gith Zerai, not a Gith Yankee. I'm happy to sit here and say I might be wrong. So we've got some more drawings there, and they just discuss other realms you can access as well, and then that comes to a close, and you have a map. And I won't separate the map, but I will attempt to show you this map best I can whilst it's still in place, so you can see. Well, basically, there's a map of the Outlands. And then if I do this, okay, we have, oh damn, a map of Sigil itself. Can't really show you that very effectively because I'm not going to print it out. Now I've got to try and find a way to fold it up. So bear with me a moment. So this, you know, okay. So there we go. Just almost there. So that is Sigil and the Outlands. That's the first book. So I'm going to do this actually in multiple parts because, you know, otherwise this is going to take 45 minutes, and I'm not going to make you sit through 45 minutes of me going through all of the whole thing. I've shown you the screen today. Sigil and the Outlands is the core book. I will move on to the other books in forthcoming unboxings. So I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. Of course, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with, well, actually in this case, a slipcase, but typically a parcel. There we go, containing a book or game or supplement, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.